Welcome to the 2010 Coach Phil Lazenby Show. I'm Randy Bergen. Coach, congratulations on a nice win over Montgomery Catholic. The final in the game, 43-19.
Kids played better. I think they knew the importance of this game, and this game, that win, puts us in the playoffs, Randy.
Let's take just a moment and talk about it. Obviously, that is the third road game of the season. I thought we might have a few guys back. Of course, Jonathan Walton was back. That helped defensively as well as on offense. But I got to say, Cam Campbell played a pretty good game as well. And you look at Taz Owens, he had 198 yards. So a good offense and defensively looked real strong.
First, the kids, I think, understood the importance of the game. They played hard. Offensively and defensively, we did much better than we had the last few weeks. Of course, the competition that we were playing those last 2 weeks were pretty good teams. Montgomery Catholic came out and played extremely hard. I think they got a little bit tired in the fourth quarter. They had a lot of people going both ways, kind of like we do. But I was very, very proud of the kids on both sides of the ball.
All right, Coach, right now, as it stands, we are 4-2 in region play. Now, let's take just a moment before we talk about Excel. Let's break down a couple of scenarios real quick. We're 4-2. Washington County is 5-1. Trinity's 5-1. T.R. Miller 4-2. Real quickly, let's just talk about the region play and how it could set up for postseason play.
Well, the four teams that you mentioned, Washington County, Trinity, T.R. Miller, and Bayside, are all in the playoffs. It's just according to what order it's going to be. We can end up either third or fourth. Of course, if we lose this week, it would be automatically fourth place. The only way we have a chance of being in third is to win this Friday. That means we don't have to play the number 1 seed in Region 2. We would end up playing the number 2 seed.
So no matter what, we really need to have a win in here Friday night. And when we look at it, without getting too deep in it, as Bayside fans, we need to be pulling for Washington County.
Right. A loss by Washington County would put us in a three-way tie, and a win by us and T.R. Miller puts those three teams in a three-way tie for second place. And because of the tie-breaking system the way it is, T.R. Miller beat Washington County, and we beat T.R. Miller, and then Washington County beat us. So everything comes out then to wins over non-region opponents in classification or above, and that would go to T.R. Miller, and then it would go back to head-to-head between the two that are left, and that's Washington County and us, and that would put us back in fourth. So you're right. We need Washington County to have a great game and beat Clark County.
All right, Coach, let's look forward to Friday night. We'll travel to XL to take on the Panthers. And this team, the record has not been that well this year for them. But this is a team that really has stayed in a lot of ball games. More specifically, they stayed in pretty tight with Trinity.
Yeah, I watched the ball game, and it wasn't a fluke. They just got after Trinity and got a good pass rush. They've got great size up front on both sides of the ball. They probably average 240 across the front, and they've got one defensive tackle at 285, so they're hard to move out of there. Plus, they were able to get a lot of pressure on Trinity's quarterback. And we don't have that size up front. We're just the opposite. We try to rely a little bit more on quickness and don't have the size up front. So we'll have to see. There's some things that we can do, but it's going to be, one of those things where we may have to throw the ball a little bit more because they are so big and physical up front on both offense and defense.
Well, whenever you talk about throwing the ball, you look at Jeffrey Steinball, who had an outstanding game really against Montgomery Catholic. He found himself open a couple of times. Scooter Blake had an outstanding game, and Cam Campbell, as I mentioned a few moments ago, was throwing the ball pretty well, overshot the receivers a couple of times, but for the most part, not a bad night. Obviously, we'll have to do the same thing going into XL. Will there be any changes that you see for this game, or pretty much the same game plan, a good balanced game plan?
Offensively, we're going to have to throw the ball. There's no doubt about it. They're going to challenge you and make sure that you understand that you're not going to run the football against XL. They have, like I said, a lot of size up front, and they'll have 9 men in the box and just say, if you can throw it, throw it. And we're going to have to. But, a lot of times the passing game, just like against Montgomery Catholic, opened up the running game for us, and we were able to, once they, started having a little trouble covering our receivers, they started dropping, a man out here and there, and then we were able to run the ball. So that's what we want to do. We want to run the football, but thank goodness we have a quarterback and some receivers that can handle the situation and throw it when we need to. Defensively, we're going to have to stop the running backs. They've got 2 good running backs and big up front. Even their tight ends, tight ends 235. So they're big folks and strong.
All right, Coach, let me ask you this. Saw Sam Parker over on defense. I think that's the first time I've seen him all year go play defense, and he did pretty good over there.
Sam's a good ball player. He's not real big, but none of those defensive linemen of ours are big. They just, we're trying to use a little quickness up front. Sam did well. He came in and filled in where Josh had a deep thigh bruise and came in and played very well. You can count on Sam. He's a good kid.
All right, Coach, let's talk real quick about injuries. It looked like everybody pretty much back. You mentioned Josh Berner. He had a deep thigh bruise. Will he be ready to go Friday night? Is there anybody we need to know about?
Hopefully he will be. It's all swelling in the knee joint. That's where the blood accumulates, when it goes down to that first joint. And so his knee is a little bit swollen. There's a little bit of lack of mobility in it right now, so we'll see. Hopefully it is. Hopefully Joe Stassen will be back. I'm not sure yet on his prognosis. He gets an MRI today on his elbow. See if there's any other, damage to it. Other than that, I think everybody should be back.
All right, Coach, and in closing here, the expectations for Friday night against the Panthers of XL.
I guess same as always. We're not a dominating team, and we have to play well to win. And so if we play well, we've got a shot. If they play extremely well, they've got a shot. So it's size against, I believe, a little bit of quickness, and hopefully we'll come out on the top.
Well, Coach, last week a must-win. Bayside does win the ball game against Montgomery Catholic, and I guess we go into this one a must-win as well against the Panthers of XL. We certainly wish you and the team much success.
Thank you, Randy.
All right, there you go. Coach Phil Lazenby's thoughts on Friday night's game against the Panthers of XL. A reminder, 6:35 pregame as Orlando McCorvey, Dean Carr, and myself will get you all set up right before the game. The kickoff starts at 7 o'clock. Be sure to bring your Bimini Bobs or Bayside Orthopedic headsets so that you can tune into every exciting play. And go ahead and call your family and friends and let them know that they can tune in beginning at 6:35 at BaysideAdmiralSports.com. Until then, we thank all of our sponsors for bringing you Bayside Admiral Football. We'll see you Friday night right here on BaysideAdmiralSports.com. Go Admiral!